Diversifying the Nigerian economy from oil is a key to promoting and sustaining economic development. Nigeria's finished leather goods, alongside other products, have great financial value, capable of replacing oil revenue or improving gross domestic product of the country. Hello and welcome. I am Stephen Ipadabo Lawson, and this is Business Matters. Nigeria's leather industry has the capacity to create about 700,000 direct and indirect jobs, as well as generating about 25 billion naira annually.
On our business update this week, SON on substandard products, strategic leadership, the rise of a new class. Raising and developing ethical leaders who are highly motivated and inspiring are keys to economic recovery and growth of any developing nation. It is against this background that the Future Leadership Conference marked its 2017 edition, the fourth of its series, with the theme, Strategic Leadership, the Rise of a New Class. According to the organizers, the conference focuses on leadership, economy, and entrepreneurship as tools for economic development and growth.
What we want to do is to facilitate personal transformation, because you can't change the world unless you can change the man on the mirror, which is you.
We can't keep blaming the government. The government have their own roles to play. But when we as individuals can come up, one man at a time, raise up individual leaders, we'll be able to bring about a societal transformation, which is what Nigeria needs at such a time like this.
Speakers at the event say that Nigerians are looking for leaders with the spirit of followership, who will also add value in their various positions of leadership.
We talk about future leadership. But the future is today. Today determines what happens tomorrow. You must be prepared. You must be loaded. You must, at any point in time, go after value. Be a solution provider.
Build yourself to a capacity that you become exceptional. When you become exceptional, you are doing wonderful things. People will follow you, will gain momentum, and people will want to be with you and be part of your vision.
Some of the participants bear their minds on the conference.
This is really a propelling force that's going to launch me into the future in terms of being a good leader and in terms of fulfilling my dreams and visions. I actually have the dream and the goal of having one of the best printing press in Nigeria. And I see this conference as a push and as a propelling force that will help me to achieve and fulfill that goal.
Everybody has the tendency to do something good. Be a good leader, be a good follower, be a star follower. Don't always go with what you think, oh, because you are being pushed. We should always be able to come up with what is in our hearts.
The Future Leadership Conference is an annual gathering of young Nigerians with a view to promoting good values, supporting initiatives, as well as empowering youths who are committed to societal transformation at all levels.
The 7 trucks intercepted were loaded with different household items, which include electrical cables, body cream, baby diapers, dangerous children toys, air fresheners, phone accessories, sanitary pads, among others. Officials of Standard Organization of Nigeria's SON, after affirming the products were substandard, destroyed and set the products ablaze. The Director General of Standard Organization of Nigeria says the agency will not spare anyone producing or importing fake and substandard products into the country. The destruction exercise was carried out alongside the Nigerian Customs Service, who provided a truckload of fake electrical cables. The DG Standard Organization of Nigeria, therefore, urged the general public to join hands with the agency in its fight against fake and substandard products in order to help protect Nigerians from being harmed by fake products.
Up next, closing figures from the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
Leather production in Nigeria has great potential to increase earnings, thereby encouraging diversification of the economy. Welcome to our professional segment. All right, you're welcome to the professional segment of your program Business Matters, Nigeria's premium, or premier as the case you might be, the platform for business insight, business ideas and information. And joining me in the studio to discuss the topic, leather industry as a means of diversifying the economy, is no other person than the CEO, Mola Matthews. And she is by the name Mona Lisa Ambibola Aze. You're welcome, madam.
Thank you very much.
It's good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
We're more than honored. I mean, I know I'm not wearing leather, and this is red, and you are red as well. It's like we're too much in the spirit of red.
Obviously.
Now, talking about the leather industry and the opportunities that obviously offers, where is Nigeria as regards to how other nations obviously are when it comes to the leather industry?
Okay, so the leather industry has several points in its value chain. So we're talking first of all about leather itself as a product, and we produce some of the best goat skins in the world. The quality of our goat skin is one of the highest, if not the highest in the world. Wow. And most of those animals are reared domestically, So they feed on virtually the same kind of food that we eat. If you remember in the village, your grandmother has some goats, she just throws out the waste,
Absolutely.
So they're eating good quality. They're reared in environments that are natural to them. So they come out with really nice looking skin. So when the rams are slaughtered, all the skins are collected at once, processed, and sent to uptakers who will then take them through the various stages of production, either for export immediately or for local use. Now, that's one aspect that we're doing well in, let's say, the raw material, in the sense that the skin comes from here. But from that point, there's a lot of deficiency because our tanneries are not as good as they are. And the tanneries that are even producing, the viable tanneries, because we have tanneries that are moribund at the moment, and the ones that are producing, because the next stage of the value chain, which is production of leather goods, whether small or large leather goods, we have a deficiency there. So a lot of the tanneries that are viable are sending almost 98% of what they produce for export, because they have people who can take the quantities and the quality and pay good money for it.
Are we at the point, as a matter of fact, in the leather industry where we apparently import leather? It's not recorded. We don't import at all.
We import leather.
We import leather.
Yes. I mean, the skins go out, and then they're finished. There's a lot of story about how far production goes, with the skins. But the truth is that whatever it is, it goes out in almost its raw form, or maybe the stage, or one or two stages after the raw form. There are tanneries in Nigeria, I still say, that produce finished products. And when I say finished products, well-tanned, good quality leather, but they send them abroad, okay? Now, what happens is those factories over there who buy off them either do additional finishing to the leather or whatever, and then use them in their production there. Now, at the end of their production, there's always excess, because they would buy more than they require. So the excess, some of our smart businessmen now go around all those factories and take those excesses, put them in containers, and ship them back to Nigeria, and then sell them locally. So what that means, the advantage to me, for instance, who produces high-quality, handmade goods, leather goods.
What does it take to actually have a very functional tannery, or tanneries, as the case might be, that can actually take this leather and produce them to that world standard? That
what I'm saying is there are tanneries in the country today who
are
doing that. But what is happening is they're exporting.
So if they're exporting, obviously they have seen a value that is outside the shores.
Yes.
But we also have to consume that
Yes.
which we produce, so to speak.
Yes.
So our tanneries, as a matter of fact, not even looking at the domestic market?
Well, what the domestic market needs to do is to evolve itself to be able to produce, to be able to consume large quantities of what those tanneries are producing. So what the tanneries are saying to us is that, listen, we have a minimum quantity that we can produce in every color and every type of skin or leather that you want. Now, your own production capacity is too low for you to demand regularly from us the kind of quantities that we are able to produce. Do you understand? So, like I said, it's a whole value chain. So there are spaces all the way across the value chain for people to make inputs that will, that will encourage those tanneries to produce for the local industry.
What kind of produce, what kind of byproduct, as a matter of fact, from this leather that we need to be aware of? Because I'm obviously, I know that, for example, shoes are the most, and the belts, and maybe my wristwatches, leather. Are there other byproducts?
Well, because you're a man, that's all you can think about. You know, for women, we have handbags.
Oh, yeah.
And we have all kinds of handbags. You know, they're briefcases. And these are still classified as small leather goods. That's the truth. Because we have wallets, belts, you know, other accessories. But you also have things like furniture.
Okay, that's
You
true.
have car seats. You have aeroplane seats.
Wow.
I mean, a jet usually would, a private jet would have, and we like private jets in Nigeria, don't we? They usually have real leather seats.
That's
Do you
true.
understand? In the elevator, in a nice hotel, you can have leather paddings, you know, you can have leather decorations, placemats. I mean, it's...
Even in the studio in NCA, for example, I mean, your guests, you have everything leather, you know, pointed all across.
You know, you can have, remember those days from the north, we used to have
Yes, it's like a puff. Is it a
the
puff
yes,
seat, you know?
Yes, and then leather rugs, you know. What you can do with it is limitless. I mean, that's the honest truth. What you can do with leather, there's a lot.
I mean, you've been in this business for 15 years. You've survived, obviously. Would you want to get into another business aside from this leather enterprise?
I studied law. I mean, so it's not as if one can't do something else, you know. But the truth is that 15 years ago when I started, one of the things that was uppermost in my mind is the fact that at that time, what we were known for internationally, mostly, apart from oil and all of that, was negative, you know. And I felt there's so much more to this country we call Nigeria, that if all I can do is produce high-quality, finished leather goods to show the world that we can do good things, I would be satisfied, you know. So for me, that's my passion. And so when the Buy Nigeria story started, I was already in the center of it because I believe so much in this country. And from what I found out about, when I started, I didn't even know how much leather, where the leather came from and all of that. But having discovered all of that, I'm just committed to, it's not even about making money now. It's really about showing those who are coming behind us that if we put our minds to it, this nation can be incomparable to any nation in the world just because of the natural resources which we have. And not just the leather, it's the people. I mean, we're so innovative, we're so creative, you know, so that if we put our minds to it, we then begin to demand from our leaders an environment that makes our businesses viable.
Which obviously will lead me to the next question, because you're obviously very passionate with what you do. I mean, with a background in law, right now you are in the leather business. Has the government been able to support that sector?
Yeah,
I
mean,
okay, in
under
what ways?
the last administration, there was a leather reformation commission, and I was privileged to be a part of it.
Amazing.
So some of the information I've given you is part of, I got it from, working on that commission. We filed a report and everything. Hopefully something will come out of it, Also, I know that, for instance, the Export Promotion Council, under the AGOA arrangements, they're really trying, but you want to export to the US. US shops and stores, they demand thousands of pieces of items, and you are still making everything with hand, you're limited, But for me, it's an ongoing conversation. Okay. The government has its own part to play. We have our own part to play. It's a conversation that must continue. And government will play its part, the private sector will play its part. I mean, thank you, NTA, for having me here and, setting this up. So hopefully someone somewhere there will hear about it and talk to us some more, and then, or offer advice, that, oh, you guys, you've been doing it like this. This is probably a better way to go, and all of that. But the thing is to just keep doing it, keep reading and researching, reaching out, networking, and I mean, to the glory of God, there are a lot more people who said, oh, I saw you on television, or I read your story somewhere, and you've really inspired me. Today, I'm doing this, or I'm doing that, There's unemployment. It's a global thing. It's not just a Nigerian thing. I mean, I'm not deceived about that. And I like to tell people that when you go there, they're not picking money on the floor.
Not at all.
And the jobs that were there when I was young are no longer there.
Absolutely.
So let's stay here and do something here. So, but where I'm going with this is that there's unemployment. This is, we say we are 170 million. That's neither here nor there. Let's even say we're 100 million. That's 100 million feet that need to wear shoes.
Absolutely.
That's 100 million shoulders that need to carry bags, that need to sit, 100 million bums that need to sit on leather chairs. Do you understand? That's the way I see it. I'm in Lagos, 17 to 21 million estimated population of Lagos State. That's a huge number to put shoes on their feet. We have the market. Do you understand? So we just need people who are ready to play, ready to work, and ready to make it happen.
So in terms of diversifying the economy, the leather industry, as a matter of fact, is not just a stopgap. It is a huge, avenue. Opportunities are immense.
One of the things that was said, I can't verify it, but it has been said, is that after oil, at that time, we were on this commission, say, about 3 years ago or so, under the Goodluck administration. But one of the information I got, like I said, I'm not sure, but was that after oil, leather was the highest earning source of foreign exchange for the country under the EPG, the Export Promotion Grant. So the people, after oil, the tanneries were earning the highest amount of grants from exporting leather. So, I mean, and this is something that had been going on. People didn't know about it, people, which shows you that the potential is huge.
It's huge.
And the truth of the matter is, you can even continue to export that leather and now produce more for local consumption. There's no need to even stop the one that is going out. Just increase the amount of skins that are being produced by rearing more of the animals and then feeding the local market.
This is amazing, because part of the thing that comes to my mind, I'm somebody who has a passion for leather jackets, for example.
Okay.
A lot of the leather jackets that you obviously will want to consider as quality or standard are oftentimes imported.
Yes.
Are there not fashion industries that actually look at these leather raw materials and transform them into leather jackets?
Well, I didn't mention garments because in this climate, it's a little bit difficult to wear leather jackets.
Absolutely.
Unless, of course, you are privileged to be inside AC like Mr. Stephen is. The rest of us that enter markets not be wearing leather jackets. But you're correct. I mean, there's the leather garments, gloves, driving gloves, leather trousers, skirts, all kinds of leather garments are available. And there are countries where they don't even have, they're not able to produce the kind of garments, leather, that we are able to produce, so that there's a demand for that kind of leather. And it's the same goat skin they use, because you can't use cowhide to make it's thicker and it's heavier. So there's the products that come from cowhide are totally different from the products that come from goat skin and sheep skin, because those are lighter, they're finer, they have more elasticity.
Any from cow?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I mean, the kind of shoes, the kind of leather you use for sandals, for instance.
Okay.
Heavy-duty things, you know, like maybe saddles.
Saddles for the horses.
For the horses. I mean, when you begin to think about it,
the value chain is
it's you know
it's amazing.
It's, yes, there's so much.
No, I know, for example, the AGOA's American program that a lot of people have made the case that we've not actually tapped so much into it.
For leather,
for
maybe
leather.
for other things, but for leather, we haven't done as anything close to what has been allocated to us. No.
Do you think the government's policies presently has been very favorable to that, to the leather industry as we know it?
To be quite honest, for instance, under the old administration, not even good luck. Under President Obasanjo, there was a ban on importation of leather products, finished leather products, and to the best of my knowledge, that ban still exists. So that was done to encourage local production, to encourage consumption of locally produced leather products, you know. I mean, there's always that argument about whether you should or should not ban importation of certain things, but that...
Obviously, I mean...
You know, but that, for me, at least, showed the heart of the government that they wanted the industry to be rejuvenated.
Well, time is never our friend, especially when I have a very engaging and very interesting guest. And we've been talking on the topic, leather industry as a means of diversifying the economy. The CEO, Mona Matthews, Mona Lisa Abimbola Aze. Thank you very much for being our guest.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Well, as you've heard it from the leather's mouth, so to speak, we've had so much opportunities the leather industry, as a matter of fact, offers to us. You want to look at that and see where you will come in and ensure that you are a good citizen. I use made in Nigeria. It's just the way it is, and it's good for every one of us. Well, this is Business Matters. It continues after this break.
Finally is our business success tips.
That is how much we can take on this episode of Business Matters. Please do reach us on our different social media platforms, on Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram. I am Stephen Ipalobo Lawson. Thanks for watching.